The data of 2.3 million people has been leaked after a hacker managed to find a backdoor into the popular dating site Meet Mindful. It's incidents like this that highlight the importance of good internet security, and step one of good internet security is a good VPN. VirtualShield is the only VPN I'll ever use because they have a strict no-log policy, and their software's been built from the ground up for privacy protection. Go to hidewithbear.com or use the link below to get 50% off VirtualShield VPN. You can try it free for 30 days, so you've got nothing to lose.
Do trans people need to pass? And is that even the end goal for all trans people? The societal norm seems to be that people think you can tell what gender someone is just by looking at them. But that's just so far from true. So I'm not interested at all in leaving behind trans people who don't pass or trans people who don't perform femininity or masculinity properly. Obviously, I believe that trans people do not need to pass to be trans or to be the gender they say they are. A trans woman is a trans woman regardless of what she looks like. End of story.
This male conservative politician says he's now a woman and is therefore free to talk about abortion.
Oh, Buzzfeed, you're so f***ing transphobic.
I am going to declare my gender today to be a woman, and then you will no longer be able to attack me, National Senator Barry O'Sullivan said. National Senator Barry O'Sullivan has told Parliament he is declaring his gender to be a woman, so left-wing politicians will stop attacking him over his anti-abortion views.
I had the audacity to raise issues around late-term abortions, where babies that are only minutes away from getting a smack on the arse and a name being aborted under the policies of the Australian Greens. So I will not stand silent. I will not stand mute while these people try to continue to marginalise policies and ideas that we want to discuss for this nation that I think are largely supported still by the majority of the nation. There's no question about that. They are an ever-increasingly silent majority because they're not going to speak. I've had it in here. I've moved sensible motions here, reflecting the views of so many people in our society, only to have formality denied. No, well, you've been part of it, Senator Hinch. I'm going to declare my gender today as I can to be a woman, and then you'll no longer be able to attack me.
O'Sullivan moved a motion on Monday calling for pro-choice activists to be banned from disrupting the annual Day of the Unborn Child, established by Pope John Paul II to provide a position option in favour of life, and is observed on March 25th. The motion claimed it was hypocritical of pro-choice activists to complain about pro-life protests near abortion clinics, while also protesting at pro-life events. It was voted down 32 to 12. During the debate, Greens Senator Larissa Waters said O'Sullivan should be ashamed of himself. Senator O'Sullivan needs to get his hands and his rosaries off my ovaries and those of the 10,000 Queensland women who have an abortion each year. 10,000 women who have the right to make a decision about their own bodies without the opinion of Senator O'Sullivan getting in their way, Waters said during the debate. She later withdrew the comment after Liberal Senator Eric Abetz objected. O'Sullivan claimed it was these comments which he characterised as attacks that prompted him to declare himself a woman on Wednesday afternoon.
So we've got the Australian Greens and Buzzfeed instantly denying Senator O'Sullivan's declared gender identity, like without hesitation, because she's a stunning and brave Conservative who disagrees with them on abortion. Yeah, way to peddle that acceptance and tolerance, you bigoted cunts. Now, you and I both know this is just a pretty hilarious political stunt, but we're not the ones constantly virtue signalling about accepting people's gender identities and respecting their pronouns. Had this been someone on the far left who agreed with whatever they were debating, we'd be expected to fall in line, accept their gender identity, respect their pronouns, or be dismissed as a transphobic bigot, because the far left are all about identity politics, rules for thee and rules for me. O'Sullivan's obviously got some strong views on abortion, which he's perfectly entitled to have and to express, but instead of challenging them with their own views, they try to weasel out and tell him he doesn't even have the right to be part of the debate because he's not a woman. So he does the pragmatic thing, declares himself a woman, and all of a sudden the Australian Greens and Buzzfeed appoint themselves the gatekeepers of gender identity. So all that moral fagging we've heard in the past about acceptance and tolerance was really only half the message. What they really meant was acceptance and tolerance as long as you agree with us. Now, the most entertaining part of this was BuzzFeed's comments section. I mean, I was surprised they even had a comments section on this article, but they do. And it's funny.
Trigger the libs, trigger the snowflakes, own the libs.
Never thought I'd see the day Buzzfeed would attack a defenceless woman for expressing her opinion. Shame on you, Buzzfeed. How dare you? If you're not able to conceive and carry a fetus, then nobody really gives a shit about your stance on abortion. It's like me saying Viagra should be illegal. You're saying the opinion of women who don't have a uterus is invalid. That is bigoted and transphobic. This is problematic for our trans friends. We need to be better allies than this. Hashtag, we still have so far to go. Being a woman is not something you can turn on and off to suit you. If you haven't suffered through everything else that comes with being female for the rest of your life, your opinion does not count. How transphobic of you. You're absolutely disgusting. Is he also going to take a 1/3 pay cut on his salary? Is he going to be forced to pay for menstrual products every month? Sit down, clown. Not all women have vaginas, so she might not need to pay it. No uterus, no opinion. Trans men, bio women, everyone with a uterus, feel free to weigh in. Besides that, to be honest, I don't want to hear it. I understand that you may disagree, but you won't change my mind, so don't bother. I can get on board with your logic. So no guns means no say in gun law? He's a National Party member. If he was a woman, he wouldn't even have a seat in Parliament. Not true. With Barry now in the woman column, the Nats have the highest percentage of women in the Senate, 60%. This shows us just how hateful the Republican Party is, and how out of touch with the reality of what trans people live with on a daily basis. To make light of someone's struggles is disgusting, but typical of all Republicans. This has nothing to do with the Republican Party, or even American politics, you ignorant buffoon. It's hilarious how eager you are to express your outrage that you give a catch-all generic response without even knowing what the article is about. I'll fight anyone who thinks they have the right to be in charge of my body. That's probably what the fetus was thinking. Lots of transphobic white women on this thread. Try harder. You're ugly. As a trans woman, I hope he can cope with the constant daily threats of being raped to death. Yeah, I'm sure that happened. A white old man makes light of being transgender. In other shocking news, the sky is blue. As opposed to old brown men who would toss transgenders from the roof. There's a link to the original article in the description. If you'd like to join the conversation, remember, keep it respectful and don't be transphobic. Also, subscribe to me over at minds.com/bearing if you haven't already. Cheerio.
Recession, session. Recession, session.